Good day, everyone. Today is beautiful. I just want to thank God for this beautiful day. Cut my grass today, cut up some tree limbs. I know if you're in the Midwest here, uh, you've experienced some weather. So I know I've had a lot of tree limbs come down. I had to cut up. But I thank God that I have the ability to do that. A lot of us don't. So always be grateful for what you have. Let me also tell you, always be grateful for the people that God put in front of you. There's always a reason for them. Whether, you know, some might be bad, some might be good. But there is an experience that you learned through everyone. So just keep that in mind. Be good to everybody. Be safe. Talking about being safe, talking about gun safety. So I want to talk about my journey into guns. Began in 1994 when I bought my first gun. So here, this is a Ruger P94 DC decocking model. And you can see that it is a big, heavier, older model. All steel, plastic handle, but my very first gun. Lots of rounds through it. It's kind of where my journey began. And one thing I want to say is I do love cheap guns. So it's not that I don't like expensive guns or I wouldn't want expensive guns. When you have a family, your gun budget can be quite small. So having said that, I'm going to show some of my inexpensive guns that I've owned that I've had very good luck with. Now, there was my first Ruger. Then my second gun was Taurus G2C. It's been a good gun for me. Taurus had a bad name. Great warranty. This particular gun I have not had issues with. A lot of people report jamming issues. I've had very good luck with it. Now, one thing I will say about this Ruger, you got to be careful. If you can see this right here, this edge, that can cause some pretty nasty slide bite. And I can tell you, unfortunately, my wife has experienced that. So when you're using your Taurus G2C, I'll just say, hey, make sure your master grip is sound. And if you know what I'm talking about, your master grip. Well, kind of hard to show you since I'm right-handed, but you can kind of see it. So, Taurus. Good gun, shoots well, like it. Then, we'll go to my third gun that I had purchased, another cheap one. And I just want to go back to the Ruger for just a second. That the Ruger, on sale, Dunham's, $219, inexpensive. This is a SAR 9, SAR Lamaze. Now, I've run several thousand rounds. Well, I don't want to say thousands, but probably about 1,000 rounds through this gun. Very good luck. The only thing I've had issues with this gun is I've used cheap ammo, but that can go for any gun. Now, I've been through many training classes with this gun, and I've had good luck. And I think I shoot pretty well with it. Yeah, I got a little cheap optic on it just for fun. When I've trained with it, no, I have not had that on there. Then, I like the SAR so much, I bought another one. This one is the SAR 9X, because it's got the vented slide here. Got a Viridian optic on it, which actually came from another gun. This one was optics ready, so I just decided to put this old optics on this gun. Now, I have not used this gun in training classes, but I have used this gun just to, shoot some rounds at the range, and I've been happy with it so far. Now, with this optic setup, I have not had it to the range yet. I need to get it there. We can say a lot about triggers and things like this. The one thing I'll say about this trigger, I don't know if you can see it right there, a little blocky. So for some, it'll be a little less desirable. But, if you're looking for a cheap firearm, a tool of the trade, now this one ran me $250. The other one I just showed you was about $299. Now the prices have dropped on these guns, so it's up to you what you want to look at, what you want to try. If you have a inexpensive gun, that's something. What are you going to do with your gun? Is it a range toy, something you go to the range, something you practice with? What are you going to use it for? Then I decided to spend a little more money. So I went with the Smith & Wesson. Let's see if we can get that in there for you. Smith & Wesson. Now, okay, I'm going to admit it. I don't know if you can see that. It says Equalizer. Well, that's kind of why I bought it. I thought it had a cool name. You guys are going to rip on me. It's okay. But it's a pretty solid gun. This was probably my most expensive one that I've purchased so far. One thing I do like about this, as you get older, your hand grip or strength might not be what it used to be. This is part of their Easy series. Now this has an easy racking system. It's less pounds to pull back and load. On this one, I have a Vortex sight, and this is the Defender CCW, if you can see. I need to get this one to the range too, because I just swapped out optics. But so far I've been shooting the gun, I've liked it. A lot of people have the concern about your backstrap safety. For me, I can say that it has not hindered me. When you go to grab it, your hand's gonna go right in it. So, that's one thing I can't complain about this gun. I don't think it's affected me at all. Red dots, iron sights. I don't know if you can. Oh, we can see it right there. Kind of cool. I'm getting used to the red dot sights. I like those optics. Iron sights or optics? That's going to be a question. I really like the red dot optics. The one thing I like about it, depending on where you have it sighted at, yard-wise, it's going to hit that spot. The big thing is, can you find that reticle fast enough, depending on the situation, because a lot of situations you might be under stress. That's why training is so important. These are your tools of your trade. And I've talked a lot about pricing. I'll say my Smith & Wesson with the optic, when I bought it with the Veridian optic, was about $499. My SAR 9X I bought for $249 with had a magazine holder, had a Kydex holster, and a 19-round magazine and a 17-round magazine, and I picked that up for $249. That's a heck of a deal. Now, of course, if you have it shipped somewhere, you're going to have to pay for your the fee. So keep that in mind. Now, my Taurus had no issues. I think I paid $219 for that. My first SAR, I paid $299, bought at Dunham's. It was on sale. Like I said, prices have dropped. I bought my SAR 9X. And then I wanted to spend a little bit more money on a gun, so I bought my Smith & Wesson. Now, all these guns have served me well for what I use them for. Now, talking about these are your tools, when you buy an inexpensive gun, what is important? The important thing is that it runs and doesn't fail. Failures can happen from bad ammo, light primer strikes. I mean, there's a lot of different reasons. But the thing is, whatever you carry, make sure it's reliable, because that could be your life on the line for it. Now, I don't worry about that too much, because I'm mostly going to the range and using them at the range. So, a lot can be range toys, sorry. Didn't mute my phone, apologize. Godzilla roar, not T-Rex, please. Thank you. Just wanted to get that straight. Hey, we will have a Godzilla episode, NECA figures. We'll have a buddy on talking about action figures. So we will have more conversations with several other people about different, let's say, different items, different things that they enjoy, their pleasures, their passions. We'll talk about that in future episodes. But having said that, today we are talking about handguns. Now, having said that, your pistol, your tool, I love inexpensive guns because it fits my budget. I go to the range, I sharpen my skills. Now, depending on when you go out, if you carry, conceal carry or open carry, depending on your state, what you do with that gun, if you have it with you, I highly recommend training courses. They are very helpful. They will teach you a lot of knowledge and ways to stay safe because it's just a tool, but it's the person behind that tool that will cause the damage. So, we really have to be mindful when and where we're handling our firearms. And once again, my disclosure is these are tools of the trade. These are your tools, and the money you spend on them can depend also how long they last, how well they fire. My biggest concern is it reliable? Because I can learn to shoot anything. A better gun is going to make me a better shot. But if you have a poor grip and poor placement on the trigger, that will affect your accuracy and how you run your gun as well. Like I said, optics, iron sights, red dot. The big thing I can say with the red dot, know your dominant eye. Make sure that you train, that you can hit with that dominant eye, find that red dot, and get it on target. Remember, iron sights, you just need to find your iron sights and put it on your target. And then just remember, practice. Practice, practice, practice. Train, train, train. Train amongst many other people. I don't be loyal to your trainers, but also train with others. And a lot of good trainers will tell you, train with multiple people. I've trained with 2 different great trainers, and I've learned different things from each of them. We've done different drills, built up my confidence and my knowledge. So if you have a firearm, it's not just about owning a gun. You need to train yourself for the protection of yourself, your family, and the people around you. Proper gun safety. So, like I said, I can't speak training enough. Do as much as you can afford. Training is not cheap, but when it's your life, it's important. So, that's my thought of the day. Like I said, it's been a beautiful day. I want to thank God for it. And hey, thank you guys for tuning in and joining me on my little journey. Hope to see you soon. Don't forget, like, subscribe, leave a comment. If you think I said something incorrect, please go ahead and correct me. It's okay. I'm not perfect, and I'll talk about it, and I will correct the record. All right. Peace out, everybody.